Dr. Sarah Mitchell had everything: a thriving cosmetic surgery practice in Beverly Hills, a stunning mansion overlooking the Pacific, and a husband who photographed A-list celebrities for Vogue. At 42, she was living the American dream, too busy building her empire to notice the cracks forming in her foundation. Her husband, Jake, 38, was a renowned fashion photographer whose work graced magazine covers worldwide. But success had created distance between them. Sarah worked 16-hour days, constantly traveling for medical conferences and celebrity clients, while Jake spent months on international shoots. Enter Maya Rodriguez, 26, not just any assistant, but a brilliant MBA graduate from UCLA who managed Sarah's entire life. Maya coordinated surgical schedules, handled million-dollar client accounts, and even managed their Beverly Hills social calendar. She was indispensable, trusted with everything from Sarah's credit cards to her most confidential patient files. What Sarah didn't know was that Maya was drowning in student debt and supporting her sick mother's cancer treatments. The $85,000 salary that seemed generous barely covered her expenses, and desperation was making her vulnerable to temptation. It started innocently during one of Sarah's month-long trips to Dubai for a medical conference. Jake, lonely and feeling neglected, found himself confiding in Maya about his marriage troubles. "She doesn't even see me anymore," Jake admitted over late-night wine in the mansion's kitchen. "I'm just another appointment on her calendar." Maya saw her opening. Here was a man starving for attention, married to a woman too successful to provide it. She began staying late, finding excuses to comfort him, sharing intimate conversations about art, dreams, and loneliness. The first kiss happened in Sarah's own home office, surrounded by photos of the life Sarah had built. Maya felt the power of seducing someone else's husband in their own space. It was intoxicating and terrifying. "This is crazy," Maya whispered. "The best things usually are," Jake replied, pulling her closer. What followed wasn't just an affair, it was systematic exploitation. Maya used her access to Sarah's accounts to book luxury hotels for their rendezvous, charging them as business expenses. She redirected Sarah's credit card statements, canceled important calls to create alone time, and even accessed Sarah's patient database to sell information to competing plastic surgeons. Jake, blinded by infatuation, helped without realizing the extent of Maya's scheme. He gave her expensive jewelry, paid for weekend getaways, and promised to leave Sarah for her. Maya, meanwhile, was secretly selling Sarah's client list and surgical techniques to rivals across Los Angeles. The affair wasn't just about love. It was about money, power, and Maya's desperate attempt to solve her financial crisis by destroying the woman who trusted her most. Sarah's world shattered on a Tuesday morning when her accountant called about unusual charges, $50,000 in hotel and restaurant bills she'd never authorized. Her detective instincts, honed by years of analyzing patients' faces for flaws, kicked in immediately. The evidence was everywhere once she looked. Jake's new watch he claimed was a gift from a friend, Maya's designer clothes that cost more than her monthly salary, credit card charges at restaurants Sarah had never visited. But the real smoking gun came from an unexpected source, her bitter rival, Dr. Amanda Chun, who gloatingly revealed that someone had been selling Sarah's revolutionary lip enhancement technique to surgeons across the city. "Whoever your source is," Amanda smirked at a medical conference, "they're very thorough. They even knew about your private client consultations." Only Maya had that level of access. Sarah returned home early from the conference, her key turning silently in the lock of her own mansion. She followed the sound of voices to her bedroom, the bedroom she'd barely slept in for months due to her work schedule. What she found destroyed her: Jake and Maya in her bed, surrounded by printouts of her patient files and financial documents. They weren't just having an affair, they were planning their future using her stolen money and information. "Get out!" Sarah's scream echoed through the mansion. "Both of you, get out of my house!" Maya scrambled for her clothes while Jake tried to explain the unexplainable. "It's not what you think," Jake started. "It's exactly what I think." Sarah's voice was ice-cold fury. "You're not just cheating, you're stealing from me, selling my patients' information, and planning to destroy my practice." The confrontation that followed was brutal. 15 years of marriage, 3 years of trust, and a lifetime of work, all destroyed in one moment of perfect clarity. Within 24 hours, both Jake and Maya were gone. Sarah's divorce lawyer moved with surgical precision, freezing assets and filing charges. The evidence was overwhelming: financial records, security footage, and a paper trail that revealed the full scope of their betrayal. Maya faced federal charges for identity theft, wire fraud, and violation of medical privacy laws. The FBI discovered she'd sold patient information to tabloid reporters and competing surgeons, earning over $200,000 from her schemes. Jake lost everything. His photography career crumbled when word spread about his involvement, his expensive equipment seized to pay legal fees, and his reputation destroyed beyond repair. But Sarah's practice suffered too. Patients lost trust when their private information was compromised, competitors used her stolen techniques, and the media circus surrounding the scandal damaged her reputation as Beverly Hills' most discreet surgeon. The trial became Los Angeles' most talked-about scandal. Maya's defense painted her as a desperate daughter trying to pay for her mother's cancer treatment, manipulated by a powerful older man. Jake's lawyers claimed he was an artistic soul seduced by a calculating criminal mastermind. Sarah testified with devastating precision, her medical training allowing her to dissect their lies with clinical accuracy. She presented evidence showing Maya had been stealing from day one, using multiple schemes to fund her lifestyle while selling Sarah's life's work to the highest bidder. The jury took only 4 hours to convict both defendants. Maya received 8 years in federal prison and was ordered to pay $2.3 million in restitution she'd never be able to afford. Her mother, devastated by her daughter's crimes, died 6 months later. The medical treatments Maya had been stealing to afford were ultimately unsuccessful. Jake got 5 years for conspiracy and fraud, losing his photography studio, his equipment, and his entire professional network. Hollywood is unforgiving to those who betray trust, and his name became synonymous with scandal. Sarah's divorce was finalized within a year, Jake receiving only what he'd brought to the marriage, which, after legal fees, was essentially nothing. Dr. Sarah Mitchell rebuilt her practice stronger than before, implementing security measures that became the gold standard for medical privacy. She never remarried, channeling her energy into revolutionizing cosmetic surgery techniques that she now fiercely protected. At 47, she stood in her new clinic, larger, more secure, and more successful than ever. But late at night, she sometimes wondered if the signs had been there all along, hidden behind Maya's brilliant smile and Jake's artistic charm. Maya was released after serving 6 years, her MBA worthless and her reputation destroyed. She worked night shifts at a warehouse in Ohio, her mother's grave a constant reminder of how her schemes had cost her everything she'd been trying to save. Jake emerged from prison a broken man, his once confident swagger replaced by the shuffling gait of someone who'd lost everything. He worked as a stock photographer for small websites, his artistic vision dimmed by years of regret and shame. The scandal became a cautionary tale in business schools and medical conferences across America. It highlighted how personal betrayal could destroy professional empires, how trust could be weaponized, and how desperation could drive good people to evil choices. Sarah's story served as a reminder that success without vigilance is vulnerability, that those we trust most have the greatest power to destroy us, and that some betrayals create wounds that may heal but never truly disappear.